Welcome to the 9th room. We're talking about good practice in public sector and NGO cooperation. I would like to thank everyone for having us, sparing us with some time on a Friday afternoon. İbrahim Akıncı and Mehmet Erdönmez, I would like to thank for they will give at life. My name is Fuldan Eskidevran. I'm a component manager in support to Refugee Communication Chesters, GIZ. I am a coordinator. At the same time, I am also interchange of information in Turkey and Germany. Turkey and Germany information exchange is Esme Hanım will be talking about this. And Esme, the floor is yours. Thank you very much, Fulden. I would like to welcome. I'm Esme Evelyn Bayer, and I'm project advisor on GIZ. Our aim is to support the immigrants and Turkish and German ministers. We're taking together an integration policies of immigrants to the community. We have Istanbul Sultanbeyli Municipality and Küçükçekmece District Municipality. We will give informations of good practice. I would like to thank Mr. Ibrahim and Mr. Mehmet, and Fulden Hanım will talk about the flow of this session. Thank you very much. What would you expect from this session? The focus is public sector and NGO cooperation. We will be talking about Istanbul, Küçükçekmece and Sultanbeyli District Municipality District projects. And we will be talking about GIZ Turkey. I will be talking about, Esme will be talking about approaches to our municipalities, and also introduce Ibrahim Bey and Mehmet Bey. And then we will have QA, and at 5 p.m. we plan to you can write your questions on the chat. Let's go back. GIZ Turkey. General information is German Federal Economic Development, BMZ, with Turkish Central for immigrants and host communities. We call this SRHC, Support to Refugees and Host Communities Cluster. Develop training for talent, social development, and we had 14 projects. We're still having 6 Turkish, German information exchange projects. ECE, Nexus on Education and Social Service Active Project. SRHC is a topic for the immigrants to Turkey, is a tertiary approach. Host communities and refugees' needs are assessed in several fields, and sustainability of the support is important, and also collaborations. Central institutions and regional institutions are supported and empowered together, and also NGO cooperation for the compliance of the. If we come to the SRHC, have over 40 shareholders. more than 100 NGO cooperations with GIZ and Turkish institutions sharing and cooperation and collaboration. Technical support, capacity enlargement, municipalities and NGOs predominantly work with regional actors to support social GIZ. I have summarized. You can contact us after the session. I would like to ask Esme to have the ground, and she will be talking about the municipalities and NGOs. Refugees and host communities support sustainability is important. Public sector has a critical role. In order to reach the aims of the project and development targets, we have to have from down to up cost-effective planning. NGOs are important. International NGOs are also important with their supporting. Sensitive groups' needs will be justly responded. Likewise, NGOs in sectoral awareness and the most sensitive communities, refugees, will be informed. Especially public-based institutions have limited reach. These institutions regionally need-based additional support, and in order to reach those that cannot reach services. In this, NGOs are complementing what the municipality can this cooperation and collaborations are very important, and we have to increase this collaboration. GIZ supports public and NGO cooperation, and we would like to share with you 2 examples of good practices. Both successful shareholders are very good host community and refugee support of harmony. I would like to invite and talk about the 2 people from the municipalities, and they will give us some clues about what they will be doing. The first person is, since 2016, Mr. Halil İbrahim Akıncı, Sultanbeyli District Municipality Social Support Services Manager, and he will be talking about what they are doing. Also a general coordinator of RASAS activities. It is supported by international cooperation, Turkish language courses, professional training, women support group, awareness increasing groups, and also emergency support and medical support. 12,000 people are reached per year. Half of it is supported by GIZ. I would like to thank Ibrahim Bey for being here. I would like to... The floor is yours, Mr. Halil Ibrahim. Thank you very much. You told so much about us. I have nothing to tell about. You told everything. Primarily, I would like to thank the MARUF and GIZ groups for inviting us here. And I would like to express our gratitude for the refugees and my municipality. Primarily, I would like to thank the German government, federal German economic cooperation and development, and GIZ. With all my heart, I would like to express my gratitude, because if I can talk here in front of you, the main supporter who empowers us and encouraged us is GIZ. If GIZ could not be collaborated with us, we couldn't be able to make this model a reality. I would like to thank all GIZ workers in Turkey, everywhere, and I would like to thank all taxpayers in Germany and the German government for supporting us. In 2014, starting on 2014, in Sultanbeyli, in the field, we have seen refugees, groups of refugees. But Sultanbeyli, we had no information on immigration. Sultanbeyli is on the Anatolian side of Istanbul. It's a medium-sized region east of the Anatolian side of Istanbul. So we are 1,200 kilometers away from the Syrian border, so we never thought refugees could reach us. We had immigrants from Bulgaria and Balkans, and Sultanbeyli, we had no experience in immigration. When we met these people, we didn't know what to do, and we looked at the regulations. There is no support to municipalities or regional management. There are many minister regulations, many other regulations, and municipality was not in it. And everyone was silent when we talked about the refugees, to do what, how, and we couldn't get any support. And additionally, when we talked with the international bodies, they did not support us at all. They had no financial means to support us. So what we had, we went to GIZ. We had an association. We decided together, because as a municipality, we don't have financial means, and regulations do not let us do that, because we were a very new association. December 8, 2014, established the association, and GIZ gave support to this new association. And with this support, we were informed and started to learn what to do. Of course, we have other donors, but GIZ's capacity is unique. We wanted to establish a different structure here. Not only advice, we wanted to have a integrated structure. We can't say refugees, they are immigrants. I say immigrants, you understand refugee, you put everything together, even those protected. Everything is, I will call immigrants. In order to serve these people and solve their problems in our municipality, we needed a holistic approach. And at the very beginning, within the borders of Sultanbeyli district, where are they settled, how many people in the family, and how they were trained in Syria, we have documented this. And this followed by collaborations with the universities. And universities, we got very good support from. Murat Erdoğan was the principal supporter from universities. International NGO reach is also from GIZ support. We could collaborate together with other international NGOs. It was a learning process. We were trying to learn from the national and international NGOs what to do. And also public sector was very precious for us. In the municipality, I am the social support services manager. I was then the strategical development manager. It was very important to have the strategy, and Mehmet Bey also knows that strategy development is very important on project experience, strategy preparation, and my strategy development background helped me a lot. The president of the association was also had a post in the municipality. We also had friends from the municipality joining the association. And as Esme Hanım told, in 24 topics, we had 2 big central buildings. One is serving the community, the other is Child and Youth Center, Service Center. This what you see is our community center, 1,500 square meters, bigger than our municipality building. We keep on doing our services. We rented this meeting. This building is on lease. We also supported the elderly, law support, and for children having private lessons to catch up with the schools. We have refugees from Syrian and other immigrants, so they have problems with their lessons at school. We support them. We also have women support groups. Also, there are widows that they cannot stand on their 2 feet. They were supported so that in the future they can hire a house to live in with the children. And we also have children's services, physical therapy. We have support of physical therapy and also psychosocial support. Also public sector, GIZ, Sultanbeyli Municipality, and also Family and Social Services Ministry. We have over 1,000 children had socio-economical support, and the same citizen service is also served to the refugees. If the family cannot take care of the child, state can take it as their child and support them. 50% of this is by GIZ at our community center for refugees. They have a very good community. Also, we have relations with the health unit management. They have refugees outpatient clinics, approximately 400 per day is medically supported with 3 specialists. Pediatrics internists are also part of it, and we give logistic support. We have good relations with, we have 27 schools. We have special needs support, special needs students support. In the fast economical, GIZ had economical, I would like to thank GIZ. We had very good four studies. 700 Turkish and Syrian people were paid by GIZ, so this gave us lots of support. Also, national education, not only private schools, but also to public schools, we have given support. In January, the new project GIZ support will be continued, we hope. Also, finding a job for the refugees. On one side, there is international NGOs collaboration. The other is our association, and all levels of the public sector. We had a very great collaboration. So it's a very good example for the Turkish municipality system. We had very serious shortcomings and problems as we try to serve. So with our experience, we are very generous in sharing our experience and information to every municipality who asks for it, and we're ready and happy to support them if they need it. We also found a social market.
We created a social market, and GIZ supported us endlessly, and thanks to them we have social market. And the good thing about social market is that so there will be the activity which is supported by the municipality. The local community is directed to social market as well. There is food, hygiene, food appliances is for the Turkish citizens and for all the groups of the refugees, without looking at their identities, whether they have identity or not. GIZ supported us, and with the motivation, we established a social cooperative. And in addition, the GIZ project was very much supported. And of course, we reached 40 women with social cooperative. It's a women cooperative, and the local and refugee groups are together, and 27 women are working together in terms of bakery, cookies, cakes, and mantı, and stuffed leaves, and especially for the food. And so we can see, and we have 2 activities. One is these women are from disadvantaged group, and they are making livelihood to their family budget. We have a flexible working environment. We have the children-friendly areas, and the women leave their children there. and they support us and in different days, in different times of the day. It's very good for the women. Our objective is that to reach 500 women in 2022 and reach that many women. There is macrame and the sewing. Our cooperative is working on this, and there are some areas. So we have assemblies within the scope of GIZ project with our assemblies. The leading people in the community without any discrimination of women, with the artisans, and with also teachers. We are listening to the problems of the sector, and in the upcoming period, if we have the time, we will select the pioneers, and they will be in our consultation groups. We would like to carry the procedures together with them, and at the same time with the district governor, with the mayor, with the director of national education. We want to gather them together, and of course we have a career center, and through our career center, the local and refugee groups, we provide them for getting the work permits. We are talking to hundreds of companies. We are providing them with facilitation. And if you have any questions, and of course we are conducting these activities as well. And especially if we take them for the workplace license. So we provide them in all the processes. For example, in Sultanbeyli, there are 260 workplaces, and for 240 workplace licenses are taken, and the activities are still ongoing. And of course, it's a kind of complicated situation, but I have 5 minutes left, and what I'd like to tell you about is that this is a very precious work, and we are struggling against the child labor and also the early and forced marriages. And of course, this is a social set, actually, socio-economic support, as we call it. And we define the families. They cannot make their livelihoods, and they have hard time accessing the jobs. They have their problems regarding themselves, and of course the children, especially working without license, and they are making money out of the children working, and they convince the families, and the 100 and 600, 700 will be given to you, and there are in 5 years' time, we schoolize 600 children, and of course, there is a huge approach for the girl children. There were forced marriages, early and forced marriages. So this is about the social. We looked at the social codes, and now we worked in this regard. I cannot say that we have zeroed it, but we've taken to very low levels as we think. This is all from my side. I am checking whether I skipped anything or not. So there is Bosphorus University's early children stage. It's a joint activity. I'd like to thank the Foundation and Sultanbeyli for 2 years or 3 years. They were working with the pregnant women, and 2 times. And they were their home visits, and with the guidance and with the dolls and plays, we received a very good results for that. And with the GIZ and with the donors, other donors contribution, so we reach more than 200 mothers, and we recruit a new of them and a new of mothers, and 100 Syrian mothers are supported with people who are specialized in this regard, who receive training in this regard, with 100% Syrian speaking people, with the breastfeeding and with the use of the additional food and everything. And of course, this is accumulation of know-how. We have the women committees. We have 25 persons of capacity. Women are coming we support them in their hard times. And also we ensure that they're taking to their home, and with the IPA and GIZ supported provider, we work with the women and we pay their rents, and then few months, and then we provide job opportunities to them so that they can make their livelihood on their own. And I'd like to say a few things about social compliance. We were very successful in this regard. When you ask about the social harmony, this is an area where we are not very successful. This is about the local community. We cannot take them to social harmony. We will have a street activity, so we have the database there. We see how many Syrians are in which street, and we are taking we have the information of them, and we are trying to gather together the local community. I mean the Turkish citizen women and the Syrian women, and we provide them with breakfast and with there's a facilitator and translator, interpreter support, so that they can talk to each other, they can understand each other. Unfortunately, we are having hard time finding the Turkish citizens, so we had hard time finding them. So this is an area that we have to work together. We have to share our experiences together, so that social cohesion is the most risky, most problematic area. There is a 2023 elections and 2024 elections. This is an area where politicians are talking about most. The refugees, they do not take the barrier, the boundaries there. We have to work together, and for the social cohesion of the local communities, host communities and refugees, we have to work. And we have the sister brother family project. It is about the relationship of a mentor and mentee, and the local community is taken as the mentors. We started that project. We defined the mentor families. We organized some seminars for them, and with the support of the mayor, we are going to go into that area. It's been a bit complicated, but this is all from my side. My last sentence is that in our database, we address all of them, all Istanbul. We are not only providing service in Sultanbeyli, Pendik, Sancaktepe, and in the districts. So we have 37,800 refugee groups who are registered, and with the GIZ, with the other partners, we are trying to provide the best service. Thank you very much for your very kind attention. Ibrahim Bey, thank you very much for your valuable opinions, and thank you very much for your positive sentence with the GIZ. In terms of social cohesion, there's a lot to do, and Mehmet Bey will also touch upon this. Mehmet Bey is working as a strategy development expert. Küçükçekmece municipality has 800,000 Turkish citizens and 70,000 refugees. There are 50,000 of 70,000 people are from the Syrian background. You have the floor. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, at some points we will have some overlapping with what Ibrahim Bey in this in this topic, and there are very common points, and we don't have any problems with the sound, right? So who are we? As a Strategy Development Directorate, we are responsible for strategic planning, performance management, activity report, internal control, the organizational development to foreign relations, and we are working for the grants and fund raise sources, and we develop projects in this regard. And when we look at the activity areas of Strategic Development Directorate, as I say, Strategic Plan and Performance Program, you can see them as a summary here. These are the activities that we had, and of course, it's about the grant projects with the cooperation of NGOs and public. And now, my presentation will cover for all the women, youth, and it's about the civil society and the municipality. I'll show the projects, and I'll give you examples about what they serve as a purpose. When we say the public and civil society, what we think and what are the processes here will be taken into account. And there is a KÜGİM Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center. I'll go with the reverse chronology, and I'll talk about the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center. It has received the Golden Quality certificate. It's about for making people find jobs, and for the entrepreneurs to work. They can have the mentorship services, and this is where they are. There's a commission to take them, and for 1 year they establish their businesses, and for 1 year this is free of charge, without the zero lease. We have the centers. We have such an office. So we are talking about an open office for 20 people, and also there is a mobile application service, application center. We have the meeting halls and the play areas. Why am I talking about this project? When we look at this, and when we are having the project, it is about the refugees who'd like to establish their workplaces, and we support them as well, and we orient them. This project of us actually started in 2017, and our project is still ongoing. And of course, when we have these projects, all the projects cover for the ones which are continuing, because we pay attention to sustainability. Ibrahim Bey established a very good NGO in our projects. We are working with the NGOs and civil society organizations. We are sharing the information, know-how, and the projects, and I will try to pay attention to this. And the second project is the Child Caravan. Of course, I will not go into details of the grant giving organizations. I don't think that that is necessary, and this is related to children, especially this is for gathering together the Syrian children and the Turkish citizens, and so that they can share information, they can play games, and it's very interesting. It is we think that the social cohesion starts with the children, and it's supported with experts finance, and we are working with the municipality, and within this project we have a truck regarding that, and we of course we are working with IOM and the other organizations, and we are looking for the grants and sources, and for we see the children, and we continue our project, and we support we reached 3,091 students so far, and the project is continuing in the other years as well. Likewise, we have the Youth Development Center, and this center is supported with the expertise funds. This is a youth development center, and here we are working with Uluslararası Mavi Hilal İnsani Yardım and Humanitarian Assistance Development IBC, and we had a conference, so we had a library, and we have a workshop of kitchen workshop, and our objective is in terms of cohesion to gather together Syrian Turkish women and cook together so that they can use the sources effectively. We have a kitchen workshop, and we have the computer laboratory, and we have the language classes, and we provide the language related courses. In our computer laboratory there is the vocational trainings, so that the Turkish citizens, Turkish students receive training along with the Syrian students. Without getting together, I don't think that we can know each other. We can get to know each other. We have, when we look at see our differences, there is a trust building, and the suspicions in our minds are eliminated. And of course, up until so far, we have until so far 11,162 people visit our library center, and we have other projects, as we can see. And there is one another project that we attach utmost importance to. As Ibrahim Bey pointed out, it's about the coordination, violence, post-war trauma, legal consultancy, and there are people who lose their identity and don't know what to do, and they're gathering together. And since 2018, we have such a unit, and we are working with World. Supported by the World, and there is a consultancy, psychosocial consultancy services are provided, and of course through that center there is the establishing of general coordination, and also there are the hospitals, and there are people who are exposed to violence and don't know what to do, and how they are going to solve their problems.
Consultation is also going on with this project. Since 2018, we are also continuing on these projects. Our target group is refugees. Up until 2021, it will be financed, and we're working on the 2022 finance situation. We also, with GIZ, in our district automation system, as Ibrahim Bey said, all our refugees we analyze and we register, and this is what we wanted. We are following each other because we were both strategic development managers, so we were hand in hand in doing our projects. This registration and gathering data on refugees are very important, but we needed budgets. What with GIZ together, we for Syrian refugees and social integration, we had support with German Federal Economic Cooperation and Development Ministry with 750 Syrians. The results give us information about their needs, what sort of problems they have in social integration and politics. Political structure, unfortunately, people have different perspectives. It depends on the political parties they support. So it differs. So community integration is very important. So we have to be very careful in the language that is used. We have seen this problem in the field, but if we differentiate them according to their political views, there is already a problem in between refugees and host communities. And if we put in the politics as well, it gets even tougher. So what we do, depending on the research, not like Ibrahim Bey, we will not make an NGO association like Ibrahim Bey, but we want to make established we're grateful to GIZ. We will have a refugee coordination center, and from this center, all the district refugee service coordination will be managed from that. We also have another project, Köprü Bridge. Here we have especially for youth to have a profession and develop their talents, learning foreign languages, Turkish included. This is one of those projects. In the Youth Development Center, we apply these projects in 2020-2021. It went on. It's an NGO collaboration with IAM supported this project, International IOM, and the centers is supported by the Küçükçekmece municipality, but we can't do it directly to the Syrians. There is also very important that I admire this project. I think this is right to have this project. This is one of such projects, PEP Work Plus project with Blue Crescent as the previous one. And we have lots of efficiency. 981 people found a job. Started in 2017 and applied it in 2018, 2019, 2020. NGO and public cooperation. The best example is this one. If a Syrian or a Turkish support beyond money or other supports, if you can find them a job, there is harmony, there is support. So adaptation of work ethics and our work, continuous work, is 35%. 35% of these people are working continuously. This is very important. So providing jobs is very important, especially with GIZ, and the German Development Ministry has supported this. I think this is the best cost-effective project as a result, I think, because people come to have a job, they produce service, they go to the school, they go to the government buildings, and they gain the money, go back home and support their families. So whatever they need, they can buy. If we say what that family needs, it's not proper. They should know their own needs. And this 2,715,000 euros, the project budget was. It was also a positive effect on the economy of the district, because what they take as salary from a job, they go to our grocery store, our markets, our providers. This is very important, and I would like to emphasize how important it is to support such projects. In another association through an NGO, in a PEP Work Plus, we were doing a parallel project. During the pandemic, there was this vulnerability, and disadvantaged groups were targeted in this project. 135 people, over 40% were Turkish people. So these people, if they need a job, they are prioritized for 5-6 months. The person shows him or herself, and this finding a job project is very important, I believe. Also, we have met proje, Buluştuk projesi. Turkish and Syrian refugee children, communication and relationships. This is from the Swedish consulate, and this is another project for entrepreneurship and talent development. For example, I told you about youth being directed towards entrepreneurship, and here is another project. And also for refugees, support project, giving us support by money or other means is not so, I don't see as important as finding them a job. But when we started in 2017, we did have money, financial support. It was very hard. We have given appointments, and I saw one day 1,000 people waiting in front of the center. But later we did not do any other financial support projects. It was not a very good project, I might confess, because it has other negative consequences. We have language courses. Language courses for foreigners is important. Turkish language courses. It is important to find a job to learn Turkish, and also for daily relationships, knowing the language, Turkish language. So they need to learn Turkish for social compatibility. That is a must. In every project, we have a language education, language training, and we support them. We have Mahallenin Sesi, Voice of the District. We have such a project. Syrian refugees, youth are important, and we had to NGO public sector cooperation with Genç Hayat Foundation. And also, this is not about the refugees, but for an NGO public sector cooperation, especially for disaster. We won a prize as the first about the Marmara region in order to disaster management is also important. So it's not only social. There can only be technical projects like this one. We had this disaster tour and also had a K70 static measurement of the buildings, and 11 districts and 80 buildings were evaluated under this project. Also, another project for reduction of the risks in Küçükçekmece, and disaster containers are empowered. Again, NGO public sector cooperation. And yes, women, children are our mainly supported groups as disadvantaged groups, especially Syrian, Turkish. It doesn't matter where they are from. We always emphasize women and children. This is domestic violence project. There was I was a strategic development manager in 2023. In 2013, I started a domestic violence project against domestic violence in women with many NGOs and many public sectors. We had 65 people, and with a workshop and then a seminar, and we had national and international. We also had international guests. It was not violence against women, it was domestic violence that was important. So this is one of the projects I can give as an example. And if I summarize, we in NGO public sector cooperation, we had 24 projects. Of course, these are the projects of collaboration of public sector and NGO. There are many other projects. I'm only talking about the public sector NGO cooperation, not the university cooperation, for example. With NGOs and public sector, we had 24. We are in collaboration with 9 NGOs projects, and these are the 9 different NGOs, and all the projects are donations 5,350,000 euros. So financially was donated through NGOs, and we also have ongoing projects. Four projects are ongoing. We have a women cooperative project, and Ibrahim Bey also made it. I'm so excited to hear about it. Ours is a World Bank supported project, and we will talk about GIZ supports it, and it's going on. Centrally, we have a center that they moved into. They are waiting for the equipment. There will be 31 Syrian women, Turkish and Syrian women together, vulnerable women, and also production. They produce and they support the household. High quality salad production, and also we will have a cafe like a restaurant, and the restaurant will serve the people around. So this will be the project. The youth development center is going on, consultation center is going on. So Küçükçekmece, as Fulden Hanım just said, 800,000 population, 70,000 refugees. I, as the strategy development manager, do my best to support those in need and empowering NGO public sector cooperation and collaboration. And these are the logos of I collaborate with. German Cooperation Group, GIZ. All our supporters, NGOs, foundations, donors, everyone and each one, I shall express my gratitude to you all for giving me this opportunity and for listening to me. We shall create solutions, not excuses. We thank you, Mehmet Bey. It's very important. You have very important work in Küçükçekmece, and we thank you as well. You and Ibrahim Bey's perspectives are very important for us, so it will be important with QA session. I look at the chat. Şu anda, at the moment, there are no questions on the chat. You can write on the chat if you have questions. I would like to ask a question to Ibrahim Bey. Public sector NGO cooperation, especially in social service area field. How can we develop? What else can we do? What can you say? Of course, at the moment in Turkey, the hardest is the increased collaboration in between institutions. Personal relationships overcome this hardship, as we do in the social service centers and also social service foundation. We have to develop this collaboration and cooperation. MARUF and Turkish Municipality Association, Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality should all be working on this, NGOs and municipalities are ready, I believe. No, we are on the public sector. We are a different position as a municipality. We are more flexible. We can collaborate more. We can do more cooperation. But public sector are more managed, centrally managed. So we have more we can do, like MARUF and the other associations of municipalities. Also in politics, public sector, migration centers, working together with them is important. What we do is we're trying to use our personal relationships and open up new, for example, socio-economic support in Sultanbeyli is a very good support. And also social service center and all refugee studies and services are through us. And it is like the governors or social service staff. What we do is medical consultation, economic consultation, all these we can do. These have to be developed, municipalities and NGOs together. I would like to give you that Istanbul manager Arzu Hanım is was very open. The new manager, I would like to congratulate for his new position. He's very open to such collaborations. NGOs and municipalities shall take an appointment from Ali Fuat Bey and talk about what projects, future projects and collaborations. Thank you very much, Ibrahim Bey. There's a question from the chat from Mehmet Bey. It writes, 6 innovation and health. I can't hear the sentence. Kesiliyor. What I can say is UN sustainable targets, aims, these are very important. So municipalities have 12 or 13 targets. Directly we do this service. So what we do when in our studies, we started projects, we started to do UN development targets and Turkish Republic developments are gitti bende. Also, I can't hear, so I'm unable to interpret. It comes and goes, I'm sorry. Our aim and UN and World Development targets are, especially in the vulnerable groups, what we are talking about is one of the many of the targets that we are serving at the moment. And we are also supporting these with our projects. UN, for example, do not leave anyone behind. We can't say this project serves this, but when we go into the domestic violence and vulnerable groups, then we are serving this target. So public sector projects, targets, design, information gathering is important, experience is important. It's not available in every institution, of course, but Sultanbeyli on the Anatolian and Küçükçekmece on the European side are Personally, Ibrahim Bey and I we used the opportunities rightly, and we have channeled our team, and we had an aim. That's why we have come to this meeting. There is no regulation, no order that this is one of, it's not in the scope of our strategy development management. We took responsibility from our own council, municipality council. If people know better, if we can increase the capacity and potential, if we become samples, examples, Ibrahim Bey and I, we can do more projects. We can be examples to other municipalities and other institutions. For example, for water and environment, there is a lot to be done, and nothing is done.
And regarding Syrians and vulnerable groups, this is the same. And there are things that the local authorities have to do for women and for children in your district. Let's say there are 70,000 foreign people, but it's not on your agenda. Think about a municipality like that. Think about a local authority like that. It's about ignoring the largest neighborhood, but we cannot overlook that we are living together, we are coexisting, and they're living with the people who for your electors, and there is the safety problem, and also there are the children beggars on the street. And of course we worked in this regards. The Ministry of Family and Social Policies, there were the trainings, and of course we attached importance to these projects. So we started with food distribution, cohesion distribution, and COVID-19 pandemic. We had to go back to the fundamental needs, and of course with the vulnerable groups, along with we are working along with the SDGs of United Nations, and we're trying to have an overlapping with our program projects. We have limited time for the closing. As the last question, in order to ensure effective cooperation between public and NGOs, what can be the way? Could you please repeat the question? For ensuring the effective cooperation between the NGOs and also public, what can be the way to be followed? This is a difficult area, but we have to work on this. And of course, there is an ego of the public institutions. They are ignoring the NGOs and the public organizations. If they understand how they will share the tasks and responsibilities and how effective their work will be, the relations will increase. As Mehmet Bey pointed out, these works are not or institutionals. If you give importance to transparency and participation, this is for with the NGOs, and in Sultanbeyli we are working with NGOs in good cooperation. But when you look at the public, because of the political reasons, there is a different approach. So for the NGOs, they have to have positions, come up with positions to better express themselves. So they have to be away from the nerve points. The approaches, unfortunately, is a stance, and of course We have to look at these. As Swant Bay pointed out, when there are the people like with a similar mindset, there is and of course there could be lobbying activities for having the NGOs, but we have to explain ourselves well, and we can come up with the good examples, and of course. As the Refugees Foundation, after 2 years time, 2 years time now, we are the public foundation for 2 years. We struggled a lot. Of course, that there is always added value of the working with the international NGOs, and through working with them, we work in this regard, and the NGOs should strengthen themselves institutionally, and there are the hemşire and people from the same province foundations. And that there is a certain fund given to them, and there will be activities, because in the NGOs in Turkey, if we take out the prominent ones, people they start NGOs, they're trying to pay from their pocket. Sorry. So I'd like to ask the same question to Mehmet Bey. And as Ibrahim Bey pointed out, I'd like to make an addition. It is about this. There are more than 800 NGOs, but there's no NGO for Küçükçekmece, and the center is not in us. And it's about which there is no NGO which supports the public. There are 800 NGOs, so they're asking certain things from the public. And of course, the NGO should take the burden from the public. And we are working through the NGOs, and they are taking the burden from our shoulders. So with the financiers, we make all the reports, struggles, the problems of the personnel. They're dealing with that, and we are very happy with that. But of course, we had some direct projects as well, but we assumed the burden. So when we say homies, and there should be the number of foundations which come up with opinions and ideas should be increased, but there should of course, I don't think that the ones with the people from the same province should be supported, or the homies should be supported, like it is the case in the European countries. So if they are supported in a good way, they will take out the burden, and they shouldn't be afraid that in our municipality, in Sultanbeyli municipality, I don't think there's a huge problem. We don't have the problem with NGO and public relations. If there's a grant, we gather together, and we are trying to achieve this, and not all the NGOs have the same structure, and I don't think that there is a huge problem except for the homies foundations. Thank you very much, Mehmet Bey. I know that we can talk this about for hours, so I'd like to give the floor to the Fulden Hanım for the last words. Actually, listening to you is like a brainstorm. I wanted to listen to you more, but we are at the end of this time spared for us. But there is a lot that you've done, and there are many questions. But Your presentations were very good, and the solutions have been provided so far. And you address the issue from a realistic perspective. Both Küçükçekmece and Sultanbeyli municipality, social cohesion is one of the problems. There are many problems, and that needs to be worked on. As a donor organization, with Esmir and I have taken many notes, and I think that there could be projects, and this is a very valuable for us. And I'd like to thank you for your time on Friday. The time was a bit problematic. Thank you very much for not for joining us. And I'd like to thank everyone who participated in the MARUF, the room 9. There is a huge technical and logistic support for us. I'd like to thank them once again. As a GIZ, we will continue our work with NGOs. And there are a lot of major problems to be solved, but I'd like to end my words with what Mehmet Bey said. We are coming up with solutions, not excuses. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Have a nice weekend. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for hosting us, and I'd like to thank everyone who listened to us, and I'd like to thank the technical team as well. And in better projects, in more transparent, in more understanding projects, so we will see each other, I hope. Thank you.